As we continue our go back in time on the Giants' history for their 100th season coming up in 2024, we can't forget about the name of Ray Flaherty, one of the most important Giants of the early period of the team. And we're going to talk about Ray and his accomplishments in football coming up right after this.
This is the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch, a podcast that covers the anniversaries of American football events throughout history. Your host, Darren Hayes, is podcasting from America's North Shore to bring you the memories of the gridiron, one day at a time.
Hello, my football friends. This is Darren Hayes of PigskinDispatch.com. Welcome once again to the Pig Pen, and welcome once again to the Giants' 100th anniversary celebration of their 100th year coming up here in 2024. And we are so glad to go back and review some of these legendary players, teams, and events that made the Giants a special team that survived these 100 years in the National Football League. Today, our topic is a very interesting one, a player that started to be a coach, as you'll see, with the Giants. His name is Ray Flaherty. Now, Ray Flaherty wasn't just a football player. He was a pioneer. His career spanned a crucial period in the sport's evolution, with this impact felt both on the playing field and on the sidelines. With his achievements as a player were impressive, his coaching brilliance truly cemented his place in football history. Now, Flaherty's playing career started in the early days of professional football, a time of barnstorming teams and fledgling leagues. As a two-way end for the Gonzaga University team under coach legend Gus Dorius, he displayed a unique blend of power and agility, earning all West Coast honors. Now, Ray's tenure at the school included the legendary undefeated 1924 season for the Zags, and he was a teammate of Houston Stockton, who was the grandfather of NBA legend John Stockton. Ray then took his talents to the professional ranks, playing for the Los Angeles Wildcats and Red Grange's New York Yankees, and finally finding his way to the New York Football Giants roster. He was known for his toughness, intelligence, and versatility, often contributing on both sides of the football. Now, the LA Wildcats were a Los Angeles team by name only, where they had a roster of many Pacific gridiron stalwarts, including Ray. In essence, they were an original American Football League team that never played a home game and tried to capitalize on the new recognition and draw of George Wildcat Wilson. As a member of these Road Warriors in the team's only season in 1926, Flaherty ended with a postseason barnstorming tour through the South against their AFL rival, the New York Yankees. The Yankees and their owner, C.C. Pyle, recognized the talent of the young Flaherty and signed him to the squad for the 1927 season, where the NFL had awarded the Yankees a franchise as the AFL folded after just one season. Now, Ray played a couple of seasons in the Big Apple with the Yankees, and just after the 1928 season, the Yankees franchise shuttered its doors, and the now displaced Flaherty inked a contract with his crosstown rival, Giants. As a Giant in 1929, Flaherty immediately impacted the team. The two-way end caught 8 touchdown passes and was second in points scored for the Giants players that season, behind only fullback Tony Plansky, and just ahead of offensive juggernauts Benny Friedman and Hat Moran. To say Flaherty was significant to the 29 Giants, who secured a second-place record at 13-1-1, may be an understatement. Ray finished his NFL career with 20 touchdown receptions, 3 All-Pro seasons, and 1 NFL championship with the Giants in 1934. Ray played an instrumental part in the famous 1934 title game when he suggested that the Giants players might better navigate the footing of the icy Polo Ground surface if they wore sneakers. This prompted head coach Steve Owen to borrow some tennis shoes from the nearby Manhattan College to gain an advantage for his team in the contest. The suggestion of Flaherty was an overwhelming success as the Giants maintained their better traction, and the undefeated and heavily favored Chicago Bears were defeated by a whopping score of 30-13, upset by the Giants. Interesting, Owen's friend Abe Cohen returned the sneakers to Manhattan College after the NFL game so the basketball team could practice the next day. One can only imagine the condition of the sneakers when the Manhattan players went to put them on for practice that following day after being on an icy football field with big behemoths running around in them. Ray Flaherty's adept talent for finding the advantage of his team over an opponent foreshadowed the future coaches talent for leading men. However, Flaherty's true calling was coaching. In 1930, he returned to his alma mater Gonzaga to be the head coach for a season. This early foray into coaching foreshadowed the success that awaited him in the professional ranks. A tremendous athlete, Flaherty even experimented with his baseball talents in 1930, playing a season of minor league ball as a second baseman for the Providence Grays in the Eastern League. After skipping the 1930 season with these ventures, Ray returned to the NFL and the Giants in 1931 to extend his playing career. Now, Flaherty was a player coach for the Giants beginning in 1933. He was first an assistant coach on Steve Owens' staff and then served as the Giants captain in those seasons. Now, historian Larry Schmitt, who has offered some of these great images that we see today, also gave us this information. He said that Ray wore 3 different numbers with New York: number 44 in 1929, number 6 in 1931, and number 1 from 1932 to 1935. It's significant, the number 1 jersey that the Giants gave him after Benny Friedman left for Brooklyn. And the number 1 was retired in his honor with the Giants in 1935. Flaherty is the first American professional athlete to have his jersey retired. Ace Bailey, if you wanted to know, of the Toronto Maple Leafs, was the first pro athlete to have his number retired in 1934. That's why we say the first American professional athlete. And it started a tradition that basically all teams are doing at all levels in retiring numbers of their great players. In 1936, the Boston Redskins, who a year later became the Washington Redskins, appointed Flaherty as their head coach. This was a pivotal moment for both the team and the young coach. Flaherty immediately instilled discipline and a winning mentality, leading the Redskins to a division title in his first season. His coaching philosophy emphasized innovation and a balanced attack. He's credited with inventing the screen pass, a play that revolutionized offensive strategy and continues to be a staple in football today. Flaherty's tenure with the Redskins was a golden age. He led them to 4 division titles and 2 NFL championships in 1937 and the other in 1942. And his teams were known for their toughness, offensive creativity, and relentless pursuit of victory. He was a master motivator, adept at getting the best out of his players, including future Hall of Famers like Sammy Baugh. Following his service in World War II, Flaherty continued coaching in the newly formed All-America Conference. Though he didn't achieve the same level of success as he did with the Redskins, his overall coaching record remains impressive at 80 wins, 37 losses, and 5 ties. This translates to a .676 winning percentage, a testament to his great coaching acumen. Now, Ray Flaherty's legacy extends beyond the wins and championships. He was a bridge between the early days of pro football and the modern era. And he was a player who understood the game from every angle and a coach that left an indelible mark on the sport through innovation and leadership. His induction to the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a coach in 1976 is a fitting tribute to the man who shaped the game, who helped shape the game that we know and love today. And that's why we celebrate Ray Flaherty and his Giants tradition in the celebration of the New York Giants 100th seasons. We thank you for joining us for this great preservation of football history. We hope you join us each and every time we have a video or a podcast come out, or each and every day on pigskindispatch.com. Thanks again to Larry Schmitt for the fine photos and information he gave us on Ray, and for all the other websites that we use to go through and get this information. And we hope you enjoyed it, and hope you join us next time. Until next time, have a great gridiron day. That's all the football history we have today, folks. Join us back tomorrow for more of your football history. We invite you to check out our website, pigskindispatch.com, not only to see the daily football history, but to experience positive football with our many articles on the good people of the game, as well as our own football comic strip, Cleat Marks Comics. Pigskindispatch.com is also on social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all of your positive football news and history. Special thanks to the talents of Mike and Gene Monroe, as well as Jason Neff for letting us use their music during our podcast.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.